we know the Vans and Starbucks are also the latest to get some backlash from all of this. So what do we know?
So American companies are finding it increasingly difficult to just stay out of the controversy around the Hong Kong protests. So like you mentioned, the NBA got caught in that. Vans, a popular sneaker company, they hold an annual sneaker design competition. And there was a design that had a Hong Kong flower with some protesters that was removed from that competition. Vans is now facing some backlash and boycott calls because of that. In addition, Starbucks is facing some boycotts to completely pull out of Beijing. And so American companies are just trying to figure out whose side they're going to stay on and to make sure that they don't lose customers in this process.
These aren't the first major brands to suffer from the protests. What other brands have suffered from their views or simply, committing no more of the crime than having their stores located near the protests? Yeah,
so like you mentioned, a lot of stores have stores around these protests. So we're thinking about Levi Strauss, Prada. A lot of the luxury brands have stores that have had to close down just for safety of associates. And a lot of the CEOs have flagged that they're seeing declining sales in this third quarter because of the months-long protests.
Jordyn, for the NBA, we have heard that in 2018, 800 million people were watching NBA programming in China. That's what, 2.5 times the entire U.S. population. So we know how important it is for the NBA, right? How important, how crucial is the Chinese market for all of these firms?
Yeah, I think the NBA is a great example of just showing increasingly American entities are looking for growth, and growth is in China. So in the past few years, a lot of companies have invested money and time in building up their business to cater to the Chinese customer. And so this is a moment with these Hong Kong protests of like, where do they stand, making sure that they're not losing customers, they're speaking to Chinese officials in the proper way. But it's just a tricky thing, especially when a lot of the CEOs who are making these decisions are halfway across the globe.